The Nolan Wells case. What we know on the 4th of July, 2026. An 18-year-old college athlete went out on the water with friends to celebrate the holiday. 4 days later, his mother would confirm on Facebook that he was gone. This is what we actually know about the disappearance and death of Nolan Wells, and what investigators still haven't answered. Nolan Xavier Wells was from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. He'd graduated from Ocean Springs High School, where he was a multi-sport athlete, and had gone on to play wide receiver for Southwest Mississippi Community College, the Summuskie Bears. He was 18. He would have turned 19 the following month, right around the time he was set to head back to campus for football season. People who knew him describe a consistent picture. His high school coach called him a happy-go-lucky kid with a big smile that everybody adored. His college president said he was well-respected and very popular among friends, faculty, and staff. His high school principal called him an extremely kind and hard-working young man. This wasn't someone with a public profile before this weekend. He became a name in the news only because of what happened next. On Saturday, July 4th, Wells traveled to Horn Island, a barrier island roughly 10 miles off the Mississippi Gulf Coast, part of the Gulf Islands National Seashore. It's a popular holiday destination. No permanent residents, just sand, water, and boat traffic on the 4th. He went with a group of friends, leaving from a private dock in the Ocean Springs area. According to a public statement from the mother of one friend who was on the trip, a local chancery judge, the group was together on the island through the afternoon. She said her son last saw Wells around 3 p.m. The group's boat began having mechanical trouble, a problem with the bilge pump, which is what keeps water from building up in the bottom of the boat. Around 4:30 p.m., with the boat taking on water, the group decided to head back to the mainland. According to that same account, Wells chose to stay behind on the island, intending to return later with a different group of friends. That's the last confirmed sighting investigators have described. What happened between that afternoon and his disappearance is still not fully accounted for. Wells never made it back to the mainland. Later that night, his mother, Christine Wansley, reported him missing. What followed was a large, multi-agency search, the kind you don't see for most missing persons cases. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office, the U.S. Coast Guard, the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources, the National Park Service, since Horn Island falls under Gulf Islands National Seashore, and a volunteer search and rescue group, the United Cajun Navy, which has assisted in searches like this before. At one point, she confirmed that Wells's phone had been recovered from the boat, but he hadn't been found. For 2 days, the case was an active search. That changed on Monday morning. On Monday, July 6th, a National Park Service ranger found a body in the water off the northwestern tip of Horn Island, the same area Wells had last been seen. That afternoon, Christine Wansley confirmed on Facebook that the body was her son. His father, our family, friends and I are absolutely devastated, she wrote. My heart is broken for my sweet son, who was always willing to cheer and uplift others. Nolan was a special soul. God took his time creating our son. The next day, Tuesday, the Jackson County coroner used dental records to formally confirm the identification. An autopsy was performed that same day by the state medical examiner. Officials said at the time that full results, including toxicology, could take a couple of weeks. Within days, the Wells family retained civil rights attorney Ben Crump, a name you'll recognize from other high-profile cases involving questions about how deaths were investigated. Crump's statement was direct. Nolan Wells was a beloved son, teammate and friend who went out to celebrate the 4th of July and never came home. His family deserves answers. They deserve the truth. Crump also said the family arranged for an independent autopsy, separate from the state's, and that his team was conducting its own witness interviews. A GoFundMe set up to help the family with funeral costs raised over $230,000 within days, a sign of how much attention this case had already drawn, far beyond the local community. Here's where it's important to slow down, because this is the part of the story that's generated the most speculation and the least confirmed information. Jackson County Sheriff John Ledbetter has said investigators believe Wells likely drowned, but stressed the case is still active. As of this recording, he has said there is no evidence pointing to a crime. His exact words, "There's no information that we have right now that would lead us to believe that a crime has occurred." At the same time, Ben Crump has said publicly that officials have not yet told the family whether foul play has been ruled out. So from the family's side, the question is still open. The sheriff's office has specifically asked the public for original, unedited photos and videos taken on the northwest tip of Horn Island that day, particularly anything showing arguments, disturbances, or altercations. Investigators say they're trying to identify the source of a video circulating online in which arguing can reportedly be heard in the background. So, to be clear about where things actually stand, the presumed cause of death is drowning, pending final autopsy and toxicology results. No charges have been filed. No one has been named a suspect. The sheriff has said the friends who were with Wells have been cooperating with investigators. This case hasn't stayed local. It's spread widely on social media, and part of that attention has centered on the racial dynamics of the story. Wells is black, and the friend group he was with is reported to be white. That detail, combined with the unanswered questions about his final hours, has led some online commentators to suspect foul play was covered up. It's worth being careful here. The local NASDAQ chapter has said it's monitoring the case closely to make sure it's investigated fairly, but its president has also specifically urged the public not to draw conclusions before the facts are in. That tension, a grieving family wanting transparency, a sheriff's department saying there's no evidence of a crime yet, and a public that's understandably skeptical given the broader history of cases like this, is really the crux of why this story has traveled so far beyond Mississippi. What we're left with is a young man who was, by every account, well-liked, hard-working, and looking forward to a football season he'll never play. A family asking for transparency, and an investigation that, as of now, hasn't concluded. The full autopsy and toxicology results are still pending. We'll be watching for those, and for any updates from the Jackson County Sheriff's Office. If you have information related to this case, the Jackson County Sheriff's Office has asked the public to contact them directly. That number is in the description.